ॐ नारायणं पद्मभुवं वसिष्ठं शक्तिं च तत्पुत्रपराशरं च व्यासं शुकं गौडपदं महान्तं गोविन्दयोगीन्द्रमथास्य शिष्यं श्रीशङ्कराचार्यमथास्य पद्मपादं च हस्तामलकं च शिष्यं तन्तोटकं वार्तिककारमन्यान् अस्मद्गुरून् सन्ततमानतोऽस्मि। We will continue the Bhāshya. तस्माद् विशेषितस्य अविक्रियात्मदर्शिनः विदुषः मुमुक्षोश्च कर्मसन्न्यासे एव अधिकारः सर्वकर्मसन्न्यासे, right? सर्वकर्मसन्न्यासे एव अधिकारः। Sannyase plus eva. What has happened? Echo yavayavaha and lopashakalyasya. Sannyasa eva. Sarvakarma sannyase eva adhikaraha. So Bhāshyakara concluded that a vidwan, a jnani, since he does not have kartritva, since he does not have doership, even when he listens to the karma vidhis, he does not get the understanding, the thought, maya idam kartavyam, this should be done by me. That kind of a thought does not arise in him. The kartavya buddhi does not arise in him because there is no kartritva. Therefore, he is not entitled to perform any karma. On the other hand, an ajnani who has shraddha in the Vedas, who accepts the Vedas as pramana, when he listens to the Vedic statement, the Vedic injunction, he gets the understanding, maya idam anushteyam, I should perform this. Therefore, for an ajnani, anushteyasya bhavaha, there is anushtheya for an ajnani because of his kartrutva, because of his identification as the doer. Whereas an ajnani has anushteyasya abhavaha. This is what distinguishes a jnani from an ajnani. Anushteyasya bhava bhava visheshopapattehe. That was the Sangraha Vakya. And Bhāshyakara explained the Sangraha Vakya. Therefore, an ajnani is entitled to perform karma, whereas a jnani, a vidwan, a jnani is called vidwan in this discussion. a Vidwan as well as a Mumukshu. Bhashyakara includes a Mumukshu also, because he is ready to become a Jnani. Therefore, he is entitled for karma sannyasa. The karma has served its purpose for a Mumukshu who has already gained Chitta Shuddhi, and he is ready to commit himself for Jnana Yoga, for the pursuit of Jnana. And then even that kind of a Mumukshu is entitled to give up karma. Karma sannyase eva adhikaraha natu karmani. They are entitled to give up karma altogether. So Vidvat sannyasa is mainly discussed. In addition to Vidvat sannyasa, Bhashyakara also includes Vividisha sannyasa. Ata eva Bhagavan Narayanaha Sankhyan Vidushaha Avidushascha Karminaha Pravibhajya Dve Nishthe Grahayati Jnana Yogena Sankhyanam Karma Yogena Yoginam Iti. So now Bhashyakara clarifies that the distinction between a Jnani and Ajnani, an Ajnani, one who is entitled for Jnana along with the karma sannyasa, and one who is entitled to perform karma, they are distinguished throughout Bhagavad Gītā. Not only in Bhagavad Gītā, even in other places of Mahabharata, the same distinction has been made. And this is an evidence to show that jnana and karma do not coexist. One who is entitled to karma is different, and the one who is entitled to jnana is different. Ata eva, because of the same reason, so ata eva means vidvad vividushoho sannyase eva adhikaraha. Vidwan and vividishuhu, they are entitled for sannyasa. Because of that reason, Bhagavan distinguishes them from the karmis. Bhagavan Narayana in Bhagavad Gītā, while teaching Bhagavad Gītā, Sankhyan Vidushaha, the Vidwan, the Jnanis who are committed to Jnana Yoga, he calls them Sankhya, Jnana Yogena Sankhyanam. The Jnanis as well as Vividishu, those who want to get Jnana. they are called Sankhyaha. So they are mentioned in Bhagavad Gita chapter 3 as a Sankhyaha. And Avidushascha Karminaha, and the Karmis, they are Avidvans, Ajnanis. Ajnanis who are not even ready for a pursuit of jnana. Pravibhajya, distinguishing them, dve nishthe grahayati, he has taught, he teaches two nishthas. He presents two nishthas, two commitments. Jnana yogena sankhyanam karma yogena yoginam iti, in this statement. So this distinction is clearly visible in chapter 3 of Bhagavad Gita. Likewise, it is visible even in other chapters also. In chapter 5 and so on. And the same distinction is visible in other places of Mahabharata, outside Bhagavad Gita. Tatha cha putraya aha Bhagavan Vyasaha Dvavimavatha panthanau ityadi tatha cha kriyapathashchaiva purastat paschat sannyasascha iti cha tatha cha. The same thing has been stated, the same distinction has been stated. Putraya aha Bhagavan Vyasaha. This is a reference to Shanti Parva of Mahabharata. In Shanti Parva of Mahabharata, there is a dialogue between Vyasa and his son Shukadeva. There, Bhagavan Vyasa tells his son, Dvavimavatha panthanau ityadi. Dvavimavatha panthanau yatra vedah pratisthitaha. There are two panthanau. There are two paths. So paths means two commitments, two sadhanas. We should not understand them as two parallel paths leading to moksha. That is not the idea. So whenever we hear the word path, people often conclude that there are many paths leading to moksha. It is a very popular philosophy. The modern philosophy, modern spiritual understanding is that there are many paths leading to the same goal, but it is not accepted in the Shastra. The Shastra does not say there are many paths leading to the same moksha, because the Shastra is very clear. Jnana alone is the means for moksha. There is no other parallel means than jnana. Tameva vidvan amrita iha bhavati. Tamevam vidvan amrita iha bhavati. Nanyaf pantha vidyate yanaya. There is no other path. Nanyaf pantha vidyate. Shruti rules out all other paths. Viditva vidvan amritaha bhavati. And Shvetashvatara Upanishad goes to the extent of saying, Yada charmavadakasham veshtayishyanti manavaha tada devam avidyaya dukkhasyanto bhavishyati. Shvetashvatara Upanishad shows the impossibility of getting moksha without jnana. If human beings will be able to roll the sky like a charma, like your asana or this mat, if you will be able to roll the sky like the mat, if that is possible, then one may be able to get moksha, one may be able to become free from samsara without knowing Atma, without knowing Brahman. Devam avidnyaya means it is impossible. Therefore, jnana is the only means for moksha. Shastras are very clear about it. And how to get jnana, even about that, the Shastra is not ambiguous. Vedanta vijnana sunishchitarthaha naveda vidmanute tam brahantam. One cannot get jnana without the Vedanta pramana. Upanishadam purusham prachami. There are enough statements to suggest that Vedanta Vakya is the only pramana for Atmajnana. And how to get the understanding of Vedanta pramana, even about that Shastra is clear. Tad vijnanartham sa gurumeva bhigachet samitpanishrotriyam brahmanishtham acharyavan purusho veda. Many Shruti Vakyas stating clearly that one has to go to an acharya, a guru, and do shravana. Upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshina. Even Bhagavad Gītā is clear about it. Therefore, jnana and the pursuit of jnana are inevitable in the pursuit of moksha as the direct means for moksha. Therefore, the Shruti is not in favor of having many paths leading to the same goal. Then here, Vyasa talks about two paths. Two paths are there. Dvavimavatha panthanu yatra vedah pratisthitaha. The Veda talks about two paths. We should not understand that they are two parallel paths. It is one after another. He will clarify this in the very second half of the shloka. Kriyapathashchaiva purastat paschat sannyasascha. Tathacha. The same thing is further clarified in the same Mahabharata. Kriyapathashchaiva purastat. Purastat kriyapathaha. Purastat means first. Anandagiri says, Buddhi shuddhi dvara karma tatphalayoho vairagyotpadanat purvam. That is the meaning of purastat. Before means before chitta shuddhi. Buddhi shuddhi dwara. Through buddhi shuddhi, through chitta shuddhi, karma tatphalayoho vairagyotpadanat purvam. Creating vairagya towards karma as well as its results. Until one gets strong vairagya towards both karma and its results by means of chitta shuddhi, it is kriyapathaha. One treads the path of kriya, karma, karma yogaha. Therefore, purastat kriyapathaha. Vyasa is also very clear. There is no ambiguity here. Paschat sannyasaha. After that sannyasa, after getting chitta shuddhi, not now. After you get chitta shuddhi, give up karma and commit yourself to full-time jnana yoga, jnana nishtha prapti. And then the jnana leads to moksha, gives moksha. एतमेव विभागम पुनः पुनः दर्शयिष्यति भगवान् अतत्त्ववित् अहंकार विमूढात्मा कर्ताहमिति मन्यते तत्त्ववित्तो नाहं करोमीति. So, Bhashyakara says, in Bhagavad Gītā, the same distinction is very clearly visible in many other places also. He had quoted one place, that is in chapter 3, other than chapter 2. In chapter 2 already we have seen. After that, in chapter 3 also, the same distinction is made. And the same distinction can be seen further also in other chapters. Also in another place in chapter 3, that is what he quotes. Etameva vibhagam, this same distinction, this same vibhaga of two nishthas, two commitments, one for ajnani, another for jnani. Punah punah darshayishyati Bhagavan. Bhagavan shows this again and again. Punah punah. Not just once. Punah punah. It is abhyasa. Abhyasa means repetition. Upakramopasamharo abhyaso purvata phalam. One of the tatparya nirnayaka linga. That is why Bhashyakara says punah punah. Again and again. Had it been told once, we could have said it may not be the purport, but that is not so. It is repeated. The same idea. Darshayishyati, he will show further ahead in Bhagavad Gītā. So, when Bhashyakara says Darshayishyati, that means it will come later on, either in this chapter or in the following chapters, in the same text. Then he will say Darshayishyati. We have not seen it yet, but it will come. So, he refers to another shloka in chapter 3, Atatvavit ahankara vimudhatma kartahamiti manyate iti. Atattvavit. So this is about Atattvavit. Atattvavit is not there in the shloka, he adds it. And Atattvavit. And then he quotes the part of the shloka, which says that an ajnani has karma because he has kartritva buddhi. Atattvavit, an ajnani, he is ahankara vimodhatma. His mind has ahankara. Ahankara means I identification. I am the doer, I am the enjoyer. He has this identification. And therefore he is vimodhatma. His mind has moha. Moha means adhyasa. He has the false identification with the kartritva and bhoktritva. So vimodhatma implies he is ajnani. Ahankara vimodhatma is atattvavit. And therefore kartahamiti manyate, he thinks I am the doer. Therefore he has karma. Iti. On the other hand, in the same place, this is 327. In 328, he talks about a jnani. Tattvavittu mahabaho gunakarma vibhagayoh guna guneshu vartanta iti matva na sajjate. Tattvavit tu. Tu means unlike a jnani. Tu indicates vailakshanya. Unlike an ajnani, a tattvavit, a jnani, he understands that I am not the doer. Gunaha guneshu vartante. Gunaha means the first guna refers to the karyakarana sanghata. The body, mind, sense, dehadi sanghata. It is called guna, the first guna. Guna, it is a vikara of guna, effect of the three gunas. Guneshu vartante. They are acting on the objects that are also guna. They are also the effect of three gunas. The body is the effect of Maya and the objects are the effects of Maya. Therefore, both are mithya. So, this mithya is working on the other mithya. I am not the doer, the satya. Iti matva, with this understanding, na sajjate, he does not get associated with the karma and he does not get associated with the karma phala also. So this we will see in chapter 3 in detail. Naham karomi iti. So Bhāshyakara adds Naham karomi iti manyate. So he is just paraphrasing the idea conveyed in the shloka. Tattvavittu Naham karomi iti manyate. A jnani understands I am not the doer. Tatha cha sarvakarmani manasa sanyasyaste ityadi. Tatha cha, also. Similarly, tatha means similarly. Also, in another place. This is in chapter 5. Sarvakarmani manasa sanyasyaste ityadi. In chapter 5. To understand the following discussion, we should get some idea of that shloka. So we will go to chapter 5, shloka 13. Adhyaya 5, Shloka 13, we will see. We won't go through the Bhāshya, but we will see the Shloka. See, Sarvakarmani manasa sanyasyaste sukham vashi navadvare pure dehi naiva kurvanna karayan. We will see the Anvaya. Vashi dehi. Vashi means one who has mastery over his senses is called Vashi. A jnani is Vashi. He has mastery over his senses and mind. Without gaining mastery over mind and senses, one cannot become a jnani. Krishna will repeatedly insist on this fact. If one has to gain jnana, one has to have mastery, a disciplined mind and disciplined senses. So, Vashi Dehi, a Dehi, he is a Dehi. He is still present in the body. An individual, Atma. So, Vashi Dehi, Sarvakarmani manasa sanyasya. Manasa, with his mind. According to Siddhanta, this should be understood as with the jnana, by means of jnana. But Purva Pakshi gives a different idea. But Siddhanti will later on say that manasa means jnanena iti. With the help of jnana, sarvakarmani sanyasya, giving up all karmas, naiva kurvanna karayan, without doing anything, naiva kurvan, without doing anything, na karayan, and without being the causal agent of any action. Supari killing. Karayan means causing someone to do something. Na karoti, na karayati. Kam ghatayati hantikam. Same idea. Na karayan navadvare pure dehe. In the deha, in the body, which is Navadvara Pura, which is a Pura. The body is compared to a city, a Pura, with the 9 gates. So, all the senses openings are called gates. So, it is a comparison of the body to a city. So, Navadvare Pure Sukham Aste. Sukham, happily. Sukham is an adverb, Kriya Visheshana. Aste, he sits, resides. He resides in the body happily. This is the statement about a jnani. Vashi Dehi means he is a jnani. Sarvakarmani sanyasya. He has given up all the karmas. So that is the shloka. And discussion is based on this shloka now. So here Purva Pakshi tries to find a loophole. Now Purva Pakshi is trying to find some loophole where he can attack us. Samuchayavadi. You said a jnani does not have any karma. But here, in this shloka, Purvapakshi says, there is an adjective, manasa. Sarva karmani manasa sanyasya. He takes the manasa word as a loophole. So, he says, there is manasa. That means only mentally you have to do sannyasa, not physically. Krishna says, you give up the karmas mentally, but not physically. See the Purvapaksha. Atra kechit panditam manyaha vadanti janmadi. Just a minute. Okay. That is coming later on. Once again, Bhāshyakara will quote the same statement. Then this discussion will follow. Now another objection. Anyway, we have to keep the same shloka in mind, because the same shloka will be quoted later on. But before that, Purvapakshi brings up some other objections. Atra tatra kechit panditam manyaha vadanti janmadi षड्भाव विक्रिया रहितः अविक्रियः अकर्ता एकः अहम् आत्मा इति न कस्यचित् ज्ञानम् उत्पद्यते यस्मिन् सति सर्वकर्मसन्न्यासः उपदिश्यते तत्र means अविक्रियात्मज्ञानादेव कर्मसन्न्यासे इति कर्मसन्न्यासः इति निश्चिते सति. Avikriyatmajnanat, with the understanding of the Atma which is avikriya, karma sannyasaha, the karma sannyasa follows. Iti nishchite sati, when it is ascertained. When it is ascertained that a jnani does not have karma, then kechit panditam manyaha, kechit, some people who are panditam manyaha, panditam atmanam manyante iti panditam manyaha, those who consider themselves as panditaha, they identify themselves as knowledgeable people. They think they have understood the purport of the Shastra. One who calls himself a Pandita, he is called Panditam Manyaha. Not necessarily a Pandita, but Panditam Manyaha. He thinks he is a Pandita, but not really a Pandita, because he has confusion. Though he has learnt many things, but there is no clarity. Learning many things is one thing. Having clarity is another thing altogether. Just because someone is a great scholar does not mean he has clarity. He may be a great scholar, but a confused person when it comes to the purport of the Shastra. It is very much seen. That is why Bhāshyakara says, Shastrajñopi asampradayavit sarvashastravidapi murkhavadupekshaniyah. If he is an asampradayavit, if he does not know the vision that is given by the sampradaya, then even if he is a sarvashastravit, he has learnt all the shastras, yet murkhavat upekshaniyah, he should be avoided just like one avoids any other murkha, any other fool. He is a panditam manyaha. The panditam manyaha vadanti, they say. What do they say? Janmadi shadbhava vikriya rahitaha. So there is no such a jnana. According to this pandita, there is no such a jnana possible. I am akarta, aham avikriyaha, I am avikriya, I am free from modifications, I am akarta, I am not the doer. This kind of a jnana never takes place, because it has not happened to him. Therefore, he says, such a jnana never takes place. See, janmadi shadbhava vikriya rahitaha, one who is free from shadbhava vikara, janmadi, birth, etc. Avikriyaha, without modification, free from modification. Akarta, not the doer, free from doership. Ekaha, one. Ekaha means ekameva advitiyam. Whenever in Vedanta Shastra we get the word ekaha, we should understand ekameva advitiyam. It is not the number one. I am one, there are many others. Not that kind of one. So it is one without a second. Aham asmi, ekaha aham atma, atma aham iti. This understanding, iti jnanam, this understanding, kasyachit na udeti, it does not happen to anyone. Yasmin sati, in the presence of which jnana, yasmin jnane sati, sarvakarma sannyasa upadishyeta, the sarvakarma sannyasa upadesha, the teaching of sarvakarma sannyasa could have been possible only if this kind of a jnana is possible. Sarvakarma sannyasa is possible, and then the sarvakarma sannyasa upadesha could have been possible, meaningful. But that kind of a jnana itself is not possible. Therefore, sarvakarma sannyasa is not possible. Therefore, sarvakarma sannyasa becomes untenable. This is Purva Paksha. And the Purva Pakshi will finally conclude. Therefore, we have to accept jnana karma samuchchaya. Even if there is a jnana, it should be done with the karma. Then Siddhanta tanna na jayate ityadi शास्त्रोपदेशानर्थक्यात् यथा च शास्त्रोपदेशसामर्थ्यात् धर्माधर्मास्तित्वविज्ञानं कर्तुश्च. What happened? Dharma. Okay, dharma astitva vijnanam is not there. That's fine. Dharma astitva vijnanam is also okay, or dharma adharma astitva vijnanam is also fine. So both readings are okay. So even adharma astitva vijnana is from Shastra only. So okay. धर्माधर्मास्तित्व विज्ञानं कर्तुश्च देहांतर संबंधि ज्ञानं च उत्पद्यते तथा शास्त्रात् तस्यैव आत्मनः अविक्रियत्व अकर्तृत्व एकत्वादि विज्ञानं कस्मात् न उत्पद्यते इति प्रष्टव्यास्ते. Yeah. So here there is a slight correction in what I said. These Panditam Manyaha who are raising this objection, instead of understanding them as Samuchchayavadi, it is better to understand them as Mimamsakaha, Purva Mimamsakaha. So there is a Purva Mimamsa philosophy. According to them, whole Veda is meant for karma. There is no Jnana Kanda according to them. There is no independent section of Veda called Jnana Kanda or Vedanta. No Atma Jnana is told in the Vedas. Whole Veda, entire Veda is only meant for enjoining karma. That is their philosophy. We don't have any problem with the Purva Mimamsaka as far as the first section of Veda is concerned. Veda Purva, as far as Veda Purva is concerned, we don't have any problem with him in his interpretations. Veda Purva is meant for karma. He also accepts the need for karma. And we also accept the need for karma. But when it comes to Vedanta, the Upanishad portion, the Karmakandi, so not Karmakandi, he is called Karmatha. Such people are called Karmataha. Means they believe only karma is the be all and end all of life. There are various such philosophies, Mimamsakas. One is Bhatta Mimamsaka, Kumarila Bhatta's school of Mimamsa. Another is Prabhakara, his school of Mimamsa. These are two main Mimamsakas. They have some difference among themselves, but more or less they are same. Both of them will say Vedas propound only karma. So they are arguing that the Atma Jnana itself is not possible. Even if such things are told in the Shastra, this kind of a jnana will never take place. Therefore, you cannot talk about karma sannyasa. Only if that kind of a jnana is there, karma sannyasa is possible. But he doesn't accept that kind of a jnana will happen. So, Tanna, we are refuting Mimamsaka. It is not true. Na jayate ityadi shastropadeshanarthakyat. If Atmajnana is not possible, then the Shastra Upadesha will become redundant. What is the Shastra Upadesha? Na jayate mriyate va kadachit. Both Shruti and Smriti reveal the Atma, who is avikriyaha. If it does not produce any jnana, if the Shruti Vakya dealing with the avikriya Atma does not produce any jnana, then the Shruti Vakya itself will become useless. Here we should keep in mind that he is also a great astika. We are talking to a very good astika. As far as Veda Pramana is concerned, Mimamsaka will never compromise. Veda is Pramana to the fullest extent for him also and even for us. That is why we can quote the Vedas in front of him. But then there may be other philosophers, for them quotation of Veda may not matter much for them. We have to refute them purely with the logics. But here, since he is a Mimamsaka, he accepts Veda Pramanya. Therefore, we can quote Veda for him. So we will say, if that kind of a jnana does not happen, then the Shruti Vakya will become redundant. Because there is a Shruti Vakya and it does not produce jnana, means it won't have pramanya. If it is a pramana, if it is a valid means of knowledge, then it should produce jnana. If you say it does not produce a jnana, that means it is not a pramana. Then Vedasya pramanya hanihi. It is not acceptable to even a Mimamsaka. Veda is not pramana, even a Mimamsaka will not accept. So we tell him, na jayate ityadi shastropadeshanarthakyat. If a jnana does not take place, then na jayate ityadi shastropadesha. This shastropadesha will become anarthaka, meaningless. Means the shastra vakya will become apramana. And he explains this statement. O Purvamimamsaka, according to you, the Veda Purva is Pramana. Anyway, from the same Veda, Veda Purva is same Veda and Vedanta is same Veda. Both belong to the same Veda. When the same Veda reveals dharma, adharma, etc., and when the same Veda reveals an Atma which will go to other lokas, the doer of the rituals will go to other lokas, you accept it as pramana. Such statements produce jnana for you. When the Veda reveals dharma and adharma, it produces jnana. That means from the Veda you can get dharma adharma jnana. From the same Veda you can get the jnana of a paraloka sambandhi Atma. The Atma goes to other lokas. Mimamsaka accepts an Atma which is karta, doer, and it is enjoyer also, which transcends the body. Because otherwise, if he does not accept an Atma which goes to other loka, the karma will become redundant. If he is performing the karma, he should be there to enjoy it in another loka. Therefore, he has to go to another loka. But he doesn't go to another loka with this body after death, because the body falls down here. Therefore, a Mimamsaka accepts an Atma which goes to other loka and takes another body. All these you accept. Why do you accept? Because the Vedas say. So the Vedas are pramana for all the things that you accept. Then why the same Veda, when it reveals an akarta avikriyaha atma, how can you rule it out? This is what we are asking a Purvamimamsaka. If Vedas are pramana for your karma and paraloka sambandhi atma, then why not the same Veda? Why can't the same Veda become pramana for avikriya atma also? We'll continue tomorrow. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.